Alright folks, we're back. I'm back in Grimsborough again, and I'm going to do the final one. Case in Grimsborough in Elite Mode next. I want to do a case.
What happened? You miss us?
Ranger Matthew, you've received a note, and you better read this. Oh my God, it's from the Crimson Order. What does it say? If you go down to the woods today, you better not go alone. Huh? I know that. If you go down to the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. That's Kathy's favorite nursery rhyme. It's the one Chief King used to sing to her. Only here the Crimson Order has used it to taunt us. And what woods do you think they're referring to, Matthew? Maybe they're referring to the woods picnic spot, but it's been turned into a giant construction site now. You're right, Matthew. We can't let ourselves be intimidated by the Crimson Order. Let's go check it out and put an end to this game once and for all.
You have nothing to say now, Karen? Well, tell me what a good mother you are. But you tell me how it feels to place a pillow over your daughter's face and suffocate her.
I didn't want to.
You don't want to what?
I didn't want to bring her home. Pete insisted.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's a lot of responsibility. A sick baby. You had to take care of her all by yourself.
She wouldn't stop crying.
That's frustrating.
I just wanted her to be quiet.
So you killed her. You placed a pillow over her
I'm going to change to the Dalmatian this time.
face. Was it an accident again?
No! The judge said I should do it. It was his idea. Judge Taft. He said Alexis was too sick. I have other children to think about.
I want to do a case in Elite Mode because I did just upgrade to Ranger.
Why did Judge Taft say this to you?
The other day, in court, right before I testified.
Chalice. Victim's body.
Did I hear her right? That nutface thinks the judge told her to murder her daughter.
Or she thinks it's a good way to get off the charge.
What the hell is Taft doing? Talking to a defendant in a murder trial anyway.
Hanging himself. We got the bastard. Doesn't that nullify her acquittal? Sure does. Not that it matters. We got her on homicide.
Duty bound to inform you immediately.
What did he say?
Well, apparently he saw her crying on the elevator at lunch. She alleges that he told her that she had to think of her other children.
I can't believe it. This man's been scalped. And you're right, that's Delson. We met him during the case on the Aloki Indian settlement.
He told her.
And look at the carving on his chest. You are next. Do you think the Crimson Order left that warning for us?
I've advised her.
I can't believe the Crimson Order sent us here. They think they're unstoppable, but I know you'll catch their leader, Matthew.
On what charge?
Let's start by sending the body over to autopsy and hope the killer left us more than a message.
Get help, which means he knew Alexis.
You're right. That Crimson Order chalice is covered in blood. Do you think it can collect a sample?
And the opportunity.
What about this broken billboard? Do you think the killer broke it, Matthew? You're right. We should piece it back together.
Immunity the second.
And do you think that dead stump could be hiding something? We better inspect it then. Phew! All this is going to be a lot of work. I hope you're ready, Matthew.
Detectives. You wanted an invite, all you had to do was ask. Well, we thought we'd class the place up a little bit.
You're gonna need to step outside with us, Judge Taft.
Why? Just a private chat.
36 hours.
Alexis Campbell is dead.
I'll get the results 2 mornings from now. I'll see you guys after I get some stars. Sorry guys, tablet was running out of battery, but let's examine the tree stump right now. A peace pipe. Way to go, Matthew. You found a peace pipe hidden in that tree stump. You remember how Anaki, that crazy shaman, made us travel through time by smoking the peace pipe? Ugh, I was sick for days after that. And you're right, Matthew, this peace pipe looks exactly like Anaki's. And since we found it on the crime scene, we need to talk to her. about her peace pipe? Ah, Ranger Matthew, I see in your eyes that you bring sad news. Anaki, we think we found your peace pipe on the site where Delson Piota was murdered by the Crimson Order. Delson wanted to solve a dark secret from the past. That's why he stole my sacred peace pipe. Back in 1643, the Aloki were invited to a pilgrim feast. Delson was convinced something happened that night, and he wanted to find out what. Good point, Matthew. The Crimson Order kills anybody who tries to dig up the past, so this pilgrim feast could be the key to solving this investigation. Anaki, is there any way you can help us investigate this pilgrim feast without making us smoke the peace pipe again? But that would take all the fun out of it. Besides, my shamanic ritual will help with the 400-year-old visions. Well, Matthew, if the shamanic ritual is our only way of experiencing the pilgrim feast, it's time to get high in the name of justice. Well, first of all, I'm going to get this billboard out of the way. We Aloki will never allow this. Well done, Matthew. That billboard you restored is advertising the construction of condominiums right here on the crime scene. And look at the graffiti on it. We Aloki will never allow this. We know Delson was the Aloki representative. Do you think he wrote this? You're right. We should send this billboard to Alex. Maybe he'll be able to provide some insight into all of this. Okay, 12 hours. Chalice now. There we are. I'm impressed you managed to stomach all that blood, Matthew. Now I'll send the sample you collected from the Crimson Order chalice over to the lab. Six hours. And let's investigate the feast hall. Anaki, we're ready to retrace Delson's steps into the past and experience the pilgrim feast as it happened in 1643. To make sure your mind travels far enough, I've used stronger herbs. Believe me, with this it will be as if you were really there among the pilgrims. Now inhale on this peace pipe and let my words fill your mind with the vision of the pilgrim feast. Oh wow, the visions, they started. Just remember, Matthew, if you start seeing pink elephants, you've gone too far. I can see the peace pipe is taking effect. Now listen to my story and imagine you are seated in the pilgrim feast in 1643. Oh, great spirits of the land, let my words grant Ranger Matthew safe passage into the past. Okay. Okay then. Now return to the present moment, Ranger Matthew, and tell me what you saw. With all that food, I now got a serious case of the munchies. But wow, what a trip. Anaki, a faded etching and a torn tapestry caught Ranger Matthew's attention. Please tell me they really exist. Aha, they do. These objects have been collecting dust for centuries, so I'm glad they'll be of use. I'm not surprised this etching is faded after 400 years of wear and tear, but do you think it could recover the faded ink, Matthew? And about this torn tapestry, are you ready to piece it back together? Of course I am, Jones. Old etching first. Catherine Johnson. Excellent work, Matthew. You recovered the faded ink on this 400-year-old etching in no time and... Oh my God, you're right. The etching is of a pilgrim who looks just like Serena Johnson. So the Johnsons have been around since the arrival of the Pilgrims. How am I not surprised? Good idea, Matthew. We should go talk to Serena. Maybe she will know something about the Pilgrim secret our victim was trying to uncover. About our Pilgrim ancestors? Why, Ranger Matthew, I haven't seen you since the frightful events of the elections. What brings you to this side of town? Hello, Serena. We discovered that you had an ancestor present at the Pilgrim Feast of 1643, and we need to ask you a few questions about it. Ah, you and your questions. Yes, my family has been around since the beginning, but how and why that is any of your business is beyond me. It is our business because the current murder victim tried to uncover a dark secret involving the Pilgrim Feast, and the Crimson Order killed him to keep it secret. I don't know anything about that Pilgrim Feast, but I do know the Aloki and Pilgrims often helped each other, so it doesn't surprise me they celebrated together too. It's sad to see the Aloki slowly dying out, but they were never ambitious. They never wanted to see Grimsborough grow into something more. And the torn fabric now. Unbelievable, Matthew. That 400-year-old tapestry you restored has the panther symbol on it, the same one we saw during the Aloki case. Ah, Ranger Matthew, I see you remember the symbol of Delson's ancestor, the great Aloki warrior Kemi. This tapestry was made by the Aloki in honor of Kemi and his huntsmen who left on a 3-month bison hunting trip. When Kemi returned from the trip, the Aloki Indian settlement had simply vanished without a trace. You're right, Matthew. Since Delson was investigating this when he was murdered, we need to dig deeper into this mystery. Well, I got 3 things that I'll let run its course. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, it is Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of the billboard first, while the autopsy runs its course a little bit more. I looked into Goldland Incorporated, the company that wanted to build those condominiums on the construction site where you found the body. Goldland Inc. has been clashing with the Aloki Indians. Delson, as the Aloki representative, wanted to halt the construction because he considered it to be ancestral land. Now, Goldland Inc. is owned by a certain Roman Harris. I wouldn't be surprised if you've never heard of him, since he prefers to remain in the shadows. But he's known as the architect of this city. He designed and built the financial district and most of modern-day Grimsborough. I mean, he's that important. You've got to understand, this construction deal was worth millions of dollars for Roman Harris, and he didn't take kindly that the Aloki were trying to stop him. And now that Delson is dead, I presume the planned construction is going to continue. You're right, Matthew, we should plan a little talk with this Roman Harris ourselves. The autopsy just finished, so let's talk to Roman Harris first. Mr. Harris, we've learned Delson Piota wanted to stop you from building luxury condominiums on the construction site before turning up dead. Those damn Aloki, even dead, they find a way to annoy me. I almost lost out on a multi-million-dollar building contract because of them. Delson was raving about some Aloki Indian spirits living on that land, but I wasn't going to let some damn spiritualism get in my way. You should show some respect. All this land used to belong to them. Times change, Ranger Matthew. Delson refused to let go of the past, and look where that got him. Nowhere. Okay, I'll get the victim's body now. Your victim was scalped while still alive. I can't begin to imagine the pain you must feel as your skin is slowly being torn off. Jeez, Nathan, please spare us the imagery. I'm just stating the facts. Now I found molecules of abiatic acid on the exposed bone of the victim's skull. Further tests also revealed traces of gold. Now there's only one product that uses both components, and that's rosin. Rosin is used on bowed string instruments to help produce a better sound. As this rosin was of a light shade, it was used by a violinist. And the only way rosin could have ended up on the victim's exposed scalp is because it was left there by the killer. So our killer plays the violin because scalping people wasn't already psycho enough. Blood now. I analyzed the blood that was inside the Crimson Order chalice, and I can confirm this blood comes from your victim. Secret societies have ritual cups from which members drink. Here, the killer used the Crimson Order chalice to drink the victim's blood. I did some further research on secret societies, and they all had this one point in common. Only the leader is allowed to drink from the ritual chalice. So the Crimson Order leader is our killer? This is huge. Now about the blood sample you gave me, I found traces of ascorbic acid in it that had come from a vitamin C tablet. I checked with Nathan. Your victim hadn't taken any. And since it didn't come from your victim's blood, it obviously came from your killer's mouth. So our blood-drinking killer takes vitamin C supplements? Huh, they don't seem so scary all of a sudden. Phew, what a case, Matthew. The Crimson Order wanted us to find Delson's body, which had a threat, "You're next," carved into his chest. For now, it's possible that they killed Delson because he was digging up the past, like all the other Crimson Order victims. But it's also possible that they killed him because he was trying to stop the development of luxury condominiums on the construction site. At least we now know the killer is actually the Crimson Order leader. But who are they, and why do they want us to find the victim's body? And more importantly, what had Delson discovered that forced the leader to finally take action? Matthew, I just discovered your victim wasn't killed on the construction site. I found gold dust on your victim's clothes. Gold dust? I know. I can't quite believe it myself, but this proves that there is a gold mine in Grimsborough, and that your victim was killed there. What? Wow. We'll go to chapter 2 after this. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back. Let's go to chapter 2 of There Will Be Blood in Elite Mode. Phew, what a case, Matthew. I still can't believe the Crimson Order sent us looking for Delson's body. And what's crazier still is that the killer is the Crimson Order leader. There are more surprises to come, Matthew. I just found out where your victim was murdered, and it wasn't on the construction site. I sampled the soil on your victim's clothes, and I'll spare you the forensic jargon, but basically I found gold dust in it, which means he was killed in a gold mine. A gold mine? But there aren't any in Grimsborough, Nathan. I know, it's hard to believe, but it's true, and I checked the city records. There's no mention of it. This means the gold is undeclared, which makes it an illegal operation. And where is this secret gold mine? I sent Ramirez to check some places where theoretically there could be gold. And did Ramirez find anything? I think I found the gold mine's entrance, but there were bats and ghosts and I ran away. We'll take it from here, Ramirez. Well, Matthew, if there really is a secret gold mine, we better go check it out. Since I'm under happy hour, let me see if I can get 1 star already. Headband. Wagon. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh, there. Horn headdress. There's no way I'm gonna get it. Oh, maybe I will. I can't believe it. This gold mine is the Crimson Order's headquarters. Look, their symbol is everywhere. I agree, Matthew. The Crimson Order must use this gold to fund their operations. Well, let's start by taking it away from them. And you're right about this headband. It used to belong to Delson. Quick, let's scan it for clues. And what about this torn sheet? Would you mind piecing it back together, Matthew? Now all that's left to search is this minecart. I'm curious to see what we'll find in it. Oh, let's do it right now. It's already 9:01, so... Plus I got school pretty soon, so I gotta make sure I... Execution order. Oh my god, Matthew! That's Adam Bentley's face on that sheet of paper you restored. And it's an execution order for the death of Adam Bentley, which happened on election day. This proves Samuel King was ordered to kill Adam by the Crimson Order, and they surely didn't give him a choice. But you're right, Matthew. Nobody's ever forced to kill. Samuel King should have come to us for help. Instead, he decided to go through with the murder. And look who ordered the kill. Serena Johnson. I agree, Matthew. Serena ordered the murder of a human being. It's enough to arrest her. The questions can come later. And let's arrest Serena Johnson. Serena, you're under arrest for your involvement in the Crimson Order and ordering the death of Adam Bentley. You think you're so smart, don't you? This is just the beginning for the Crimson Order. Soon we will rule Grimsborough openly. Think again, Serena. You're going to jail and we found out about the Crimson Order's gold mine. You're lucky that Samuel King refused to kill you, and about Adam, that idiot found out about the gold mine and thus the existence of the Crimson Order. He tried to blackmail us, but that's not how we silence people, so instead of paying him gold, we paid him in lead. Is that why you also killed Delson? Oh, but I didn't kill him. That honor went to our glorious leader, after Delson discovered our oldest secret, the one that needs protecting at all costs. Now lock me up if you want, Ranger Matthew, but you won't be able to keep the Crimson Order behind bars forever. Ranger Matthew, what the hell is going on? You're usually sensible, and yet you go and arrest my mother. This won't stand. With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, Ranger Matthew no longer cares about politics and special treatment. All we care about is justice, and you better be sure that's what we're going to get. So leave us alone before we arrest you too for obstructing the law. Right. I better go get Mother her vitamin C tablets then. Phew, that escalated quickly, Matthew, but it's been a long time coming. And you're right, Serena told us the Crimson Order leader killed Delson because he had discovered their oldest secret. She could be lying, but we need to retrace Delson's steps and find out what he discovered about the Pilgrim Feast. Come on, Matthew, let's go solve this 400-year-old mystery. And after all this drama, I could do with a hit of Anaki's peace pipe. I'm gonna get the headband out of the way first. White sample. Way to go, Matthew! Now let's send the substance you collected off the victim's headband over to the lab. How long? 12 hours. Perfect. 9:05 p.m. Now let's examine the wagon. Crimson Order helmet. Excellent job, Matthew! You've just found a Crimson Order helmet in that pile of mining tools. Quick, let's dust it for prints. There we are. Ace as always, Matthew. I'm sure these prints on the Crimson Order helmet will give us the identity of their leader. Quick, let's send it to the lab. "24 hours. I might speed this up later, but we'll see. Ah, Ranger Matthew, are you ready to smoke the peace pipe once again and be flooded with visions of the past? Here, take this, my child, and let your mind be transported back to the Pilgrim Feast that took place in 1643. I'll never get used to this, and... Oh look, a pilgrim is offering me food. Ooh, cookies. Yes, let your mind wander, Ranger Matthew, but don't forget the task in hand. Great spirits of the land, grant Ranger Matthew safe passage into the past. It worked last time, let's try again. There we are. Well, I did pretty good. Now return to the present moment, Ranger Matthew, and tell me what you saw. All that food. It's like paradise. I want to go back. You're right, Matthew. I need to concentrate. Anaki, that totem head caught our attention. Would you happen to have it? You're in luck, Ranger Matthew. This is an ancient totem head. If you can get it talking, it will reveal a great secret. Totem head now. P NSA. That was pretty lucky. Excellent work, Matthew. You managed to get the ancient totem head to open up. And look, there's a faded illustration inside. Can you use your skills to recover the 400-year-old ink? There we are. Unbelievable, Matthew. You recovered the 400-year-old illustration in no time. It's beautiful, but it makes no sense to me. Hopefully Grace will have better luck. "18 hours. Okay. And I'll get the remaining stars right now. Quick look at my cards. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then.
Might be able to surprise him.
Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the white sample first. I analyzed the substance you collected from the victim's headband, Matthew, and well, it's quite a find. The substance contains particles of various ingredients: garlic, butter, parsley, and snails to be exact. Snails? Wait a second, where are you heading with this, Grace? Your killer ate cooked snails, and clearly they had residue left on their hands when they ripped off your victim's headband. First our killer drinks blood, and now they eat snails. Do they have a bucket list of the most disgusting things to try before they die? Okay, handprints now. Where did you say you found this Crimson Order helmet? Come on, please tell me this is just some kind of sick joke. Alex, what's wrong? Those prints you found on the Crimson Order helmet, they belong to Kathy. What? See, it doesn't make sense. There's no way that Kathy's a member of the Crimson Order. We're always together. The only time we're apart is when she goes to her violin class. Matthew, please believe me, she's innocent. Just stay calm, Alex. Matthew will go talk to her, and we'll have this figured out in no time.
That was great. Nathan's just a shop looking outside an auto parts store in Mallorytown, just across the border. The farmer's truck had a bad
About her possible involvement? Kathy, we found your fingerprints on a Crimson Order helmet in the secret gold mine, and... Please don't tell me you think that I'm a member of that rotten Crimson Order. So you're not? Of course not. Ever since I learned about my grandpa's double life as a Crimson Order member, I've been trying to bring them down. So you mean you went into the gold mine to investigate? Did you even realize it was the Crimson Order's headquarters? And secondly, when you found out about it, why didn't you come to us? Because I knew you would be mad. I'm sorry, Matthew. It's all too much for me. For once, I wish I just had the normal life of a college girl. I feel bad saying this out loud, but what if Kathy's been playing us all along, Matthew? After all, she's played us once before as the hacker. And we started investigating King's past because Kathy asked us to. What if she made us think King was just a Crimson Order pawn when in fact he was the leader? And now that he's dead, what if Kathy is the new leader? We thought Samuel King could never be a killer, and we were wrong once. I just can't help starting to get a grim sense of deja vu.
See, he threatened to kill her.
What happened when you got to the farmhouse?
He held a knife to my back. And he led me to the front door. An old woman answered.
Illustration now.
For directions.
I had a look at that ancient illustration you found inside that totem head, Matthew, and it's actually a wedding invitation. The moon symbolized the date. The wedding vase with two spouts is an Aloki tradition. The bride and groom must drink from it. It symbolizes both individuality and unity. And the blanket wrapped around the couple indicates the beginning of their new life together and the promise to fill it with peace and happiness. Now what's interesting is that the illustration represents a marriage between a pilgrim man and an Aloki woman, which is really quite touching. You're right, Matthew, this can only have been the wedding of Solomon and Anaya. So this pilgrim feast was in fact a wedding celebration, but that still doesn't explain why Delson wanted to investigate it. Good point, Matthew. We should go talk to Solomon's descendant, Milton Grims. As the warden of Grimsborough prison, Milton helped us during Tessa's murder investigation, and as Solomon's descendant, he might be able to help us once again.
He said he was going to kill me and Jenny just like the rest of us. He said the police were so stupid they'd never find us.
About his ancestors' wedding feast? Hello, Milton. We have a few questions about the wedding celebration between your ancestor Solomon Grims and Anaya. It could help us solve Delson Piota's murder. Ah, Delson. You know, his ancestor Kemi hated Solomon's guts because he was also in love with Anaya. He didn't go to the wedding. Instead, he left to go bison hunting. Anaki has already told us that story. When Kemi came back, the whole Aloki tribe had vanished. Yes, it's a tragic story, only the Aloki didn't vanish, they left. And did Solomon go with Anaya? Sadly no, because the pilgrims needed him, and Anaya couldn't bring herself to abandon her tribe, and so they parted ways. Yet Anaya vowed to return, but never did. Now if you'll excuse me, it's time for my violin practice. The inmates hate it, but it keeps me sane. This case is exhausting, Matthew. We've arrested Serena for ordering the murder of Adam Bentley, but we don't know if she killed Delson Piota yet. And if she's not the killer, that means that the Crimson Order leader is still at large. It could be any one of our suspects, including Kathy. And now that we found out about the Crimson Order's gold mine, I wonder what their next move will be. Ranger Matthew, come quick. The TV, the Crimson Order are on the TV. They've hacked every channel. Look! Citizens of Grimsborough, today is a big day, for we, the Crimson Order, are stepping out of the shadows and will take charge of this city. Only one obstacle remains in our way. Ranger Matthew of the Grimsborough PD. Bring us their head and you shall be rewarded. We'll get to Chapter 3 after this. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start Chapter 3 of There Will Be Blood, Case 56 in Grimsborough. This has to be our toughest case to date, Matthew. We know Delson's killer is the Crimson Order leader, and they sent us looking for his body. We've arrested Serena for being a Crimson Order member, but we don't know if she's the leader yet, and even Kathy has become a suspect. And now that we found out about the Crimson Order's gold, I wonder what their next move will be. Ranger Matthew, come quick. The TV. The Crimson Order are on the TV. They've hacked every channel. Look. Citizens of Grimsborough, today is a big day, for we, the Crimson Order, are stepping out of the shadows and will take charge of this city. Only one obstacle remains in our way. Ranger Matthew of the Grimsborough PD. Bring us their head and you shall be rewarded in gold. How dare they? You're right, Matthew. We have to hurry and catch the Crimson Order leader. But the only person who knew their identity is dead. Ranger Matthew, the spirits told me you need to dig where you found Delson's body. His blood will reveal more blood. His blood will reveal more blood? What on earth are you on about, Anaki? If you want the answers you seek, you will need to dig, Ranger Matthew. When we started in this district, Stuart Huckabee told us that we needed to dig to get to the truth. It looks like he didn't mean it just that one time. Come on, Matthew, it's not going to be easy, but let's dig up the construction site and reveal the dark secrets of this city once and for all.
I just want to focus on your mistakes. What mistakes? Sarah Kimmel, for example?
Must keep digging. to get to the truth.
Your first mistake.
Oh, that was Marvin's. I had to leave you at work. Marvin said he'd be there in no more than 5 minutes. Half hour later, I'm in panic.
Anaki better be right about this or else she's in serious trouble. Delson's blood will reveal more blood. What does that mean anyway? I'm getting tired of these secrets. Samuel King's double life, the Crimson Order and their gold mine, and all the death that entailed, and... Oh my god, Matthew, you've dug up something. What are all those? I think we're gonna need Nathan. I'll call him while you investigate.
Same story with the cookies. I'm in a bar in Walden Falls.
Let's see
Said he was
here.
passing through from Syracuse. Only problem was, he had his wife with him. So she had to go too. Not right away, but after a few days. Why the bunker? Didn't like to eat where I worked. And it was more secure.
Sorry guys, enjoying some macaroni while I do this. Okay,
We found 18.
let's see.
Oh, there's more.
How many?
Oh, faded notebook.
That would be telling. Come on, detective, you should be used to this by now. I know it's got that usage you stole at the warehouse.
Yep.
Time I grabbed him at the Target, I thought, and when you were screaming for mercy,
Skull.
laugh at your expense. Like I'm having a little laugh right now because you think you've won.
I still don't see the totem. I can't believe it.
Watch him stick the needle in your arm. Canada won't extradite capital offenses unless you waive the death penalty.
There you are.
This is a big extraditing capital offenses. Canadian Supreme Court cut no restrictions last year, so I could flip us off for Canadian prison.
Well, you can make the argument. That doesn't mean he'll win.
He saves his neck, he wins.
Look, I did not come all the way up here to go home empty-handed. John, you did your job. Now let me do mine.
I can't believe it. You just dug up a mass grave, Matthew. Did the Crimson Order do this? Were all these people murdered, Nathan? I've never seen anything like this. Yes, all these people were without a doubt murdered a long time ago. This skull has been carefully preserved. Unlike the others, Matthew, could you do a facial reconstruction to determine the skeleton's ethnicity? And if the mass grave wasn't enough, you also went ahead and found a scalp. I guess it's Delson's. Would you mind checking it for clues? And look at this faded notebook. Since it's on the crime scene, do you think you can recover it, Matthew?
While I do respect the High Court's rulings in the matter,
I'm gonna get the remaining stars first, so sit tight, folks.
I would submit this ruling.
The rehearsal dinner.
Okay, faded notebook now. Let's examine it. I got up to 20 stars.
Mike Bundack. A bellhop. If you ask me, she could do a lot better.
Thanks for your help.
We need to talk to Mike Bundack.
Mike, you know
Excellent work, Matthew. You managed to recover this message in no time. It reads, Roman, stop Delson and build quickly. Money is not an issue. And it's signed Serena. You're right. Roman's that creepy architect who owns the construction site. Roman said this construction site was $1 million deal, but with this mass grave uncovered, it would become a protected archaeological site and the building would stop. We need to get Roman talking. If he's behind Delson's murder, we're not going to let him cover it up so easily.
I'm your witness, Mike.
Mike, we need to know what you were doing last Sunday morning.
I had brunch at Ruth's.
What about the film run? You worked all night. Kid works his
I worked the overnight shift.
About the incriminating message.
The Warren Hotel. What time did you leave work? About 9.
Will this take long, Ranger Matthew? Because I was just about to leave for lunch. There's this restaurant that serves snails, and I want to be sure to get a table. We'll take as long as we need it, Roman. We'll take as long as needed, Roman. We found a message written by Serena Johnson in which she told you to stop Delson at any price. Anything you want to confess to us? Serena's been a good friend for a long time. I met her along with Samuel King back when we all took violin lessons together as kids. Her message was just a friendly suggestion that I shouldn't let Delson get the best of me and my project and to continue with the planned building. She said that money wasn't an issue. It was clearly in order to quickly cover up the mass massacre. And it looks like Delson discovered the truth, but when he tried to expose it, you killed him. I don't think you realize how powerful I am. I am the architect of this city, its builder and destroyer. And if you think you can intimidate me with the handwritten message, you've got another thing coming. Now leave me alone. Let's get the scout out of the way. Pink hair. Uh-oh. Oh no, Matthew. You collected some bright pink hairs from the victim's scalp. And such hair could only belong to Kathy. When we found her prints in the secret gold mine, she said she was there to try and bring down the Crimson Order. But if Kathy's the killer, it also means that she's the Crimson Order leader. I refuse to believe she's the killer, Matthew, but we need to lock her up until we have enough evidence to be certain. And we got to arrest Kathy King. Ah, Matthew, I can't believe you arrested Serena Johnson. Just recently I was having lunch with her. She made me try snails. But what's wrong, Matthew? You look pale. You should take some of my vitamin C supplements. They might help perk you up. Kathy, we're sorry, but you've become our most serious suspect in the investigation. So we don't have a choice but to lock you up for now. What? That's insane. Please, Matthew, Kathy's innocent. She has to be. Alex, you found her hair on the victim's scalp. We don't have a choice. But... It's okay, Alex. Just know that no matter what, I love you. Now take me away before I cry, Matthew. Oh, gosh. I hadn't realized that you and Kathy were actually together, Alex. We have been for a while, but it doesn't matter right now. Please, Matthew, you have to prove Kathy's innocent. Examine the skull. Perfect. Anaya's skull. Oh my god, Matthew. The facial reconstruction on that skull you found in the mass grave shows it belonged to Anaya. This not only proves that Solomon Grimm's wife was murdered, but it also proves that all the skeletons we dug up belong to Aloki Indians. They were all brutally murdered. I wonder if Milton knew that Anaya was murdered along with her tribe. And if he did, why did he lie to us? Come on, Matthew, let's go talk to him. About the Aloki massacre? Ugh, Ranger Matthew, no matter what they tell you, never drink tea after eating snails. It's disgusting. We're not here to talk about tea, Milton. We've discovered that the Aloki Indians didn't just leave after the Pilgrim Feast. They were murdered. Not so loud. If the Crimson Order found out you knew the truth, they would kill you. What? You've known the whole time? We've had enough of your lies, so you better start telling us the truth right now, right about now, Milton. Okay, I'll tell you. The night of the Pilgrim Feast, as Solomon was celebrating his wedding with Anaya, the Crimson Order stormed in and killed all the Aloki. They spared Solomon's life in exchange for his servitude. He didn't have a choice, and I'm sorry if I lied, but I didn't have a choice either. It seems the only people who knew so much around here are members of the Crimson Order. Are you one of them, Milton? No, my family has always been careful to never rise up in society. If you're somebody of importance, you can be sure that the Crimson Order will enlist you. That's why I became a prison warden. I've had to replace the sun with vitamin C supplements, but at least locked up in here, I'm safe from the Crimson Order.
When Mary called, I sensed her something.
So now I got confirmation that the Crimson Order killed all the Aloki. They didn't build on an Indian graveyard, they created it. All this madness has to stop, Matthew. We've got to arrest the Crimson Order leader before any more blood is shed.
I used my psychic's advice, and things are definitely looking up.
California servants.
We're running out of time, Matthew. As long as the Crimson Order leader is free, our lives are at risk. But we're so close to catching the Crimson Order leader, I feel it. We're just missing those last pieces of evidence. You're right, Matthew. The gold mine is at the center of all this. It's our best chance of solving this case before it's too late. I only did the first 3 stars, but I'm going to get the remaining stars after I finish out this.
At CC's, we know you love exploring, so we've added 3 new flavors to our unlimited buffet. Introducing all new flatbread pizzas, chicken bacon club, spinach alfredo, and honey barbecue chicken. Explore them all for just 5 and change. Crazy, right? Only at CC's. Better believe it.
Oh my God! Would you like to win $7,000
Okay.
a week for life?
Let's see. What clues do we gotta find here? Pipe. Golden chest. Crimson Order chest.
You ain't twisting my arm to get me to do nothing.
Broken slab.
I haven't been off more than I can chew.
It all leads up to a shocking sister showdown.
My problem is with you.
Catch it on Thursday starting at 7 on WeTV. Brought to you by David's Bridal. So much more for so much less.
You couldn't wait, could you? You couldn't wait 3 hours.
Do you think we should restore this broken slab, Matthew? You're right. If we want to catch this killer, we can't leave any stone unturned. Now what about this chest? You're right. It might contain the remaining evidence we need to finally put this monster behind bars. So that's 301. As you can see, I just made Ranger for level 300.
One explanation. Then there's one that makes sense. Hey, if something made you do it, if it was an accident, if the gun went off by itself, whatever, you're a lot better off giving us a reason.
Oh, let's do it right now.
That fiancé of yours. Look, we know you have the crime scene. We know you needed the jacket.
Ha!
The victim's blood is on your jacket.
In a homicide business, that's like finding the Holy Grail.
15. A dagger.
If you know who
Excellent work, Matthew. You just found a Crimson Order dagger covered in blood. There seems to be something stuck to the blade. You're right, we need to collect a sample. With a bit of luck, it'll lead to our killer.
Halfway down the block from where I left the car. Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah, that's how we saw homicides too. Here's Puerto Rican dude.
I don't know if he did it, but I passed him on the left, and he looked kind of scared.
everybody was scared.
He looked at me, like, you know, like he sized me up, and he had a tattoo on his hand.
16. Great. Bloody hair. Great work collecting that bloodied hair from the Crimson Order dagger, Matthew. And given all the blood, it just has to be our murder weapon. Let's send this hair sample to Grace, ASAP. We're close to catching the killer. I can feel it.
Hey, we need this right to counsel. Dear Lawrence,
No wonder you're divorced. Get a warrant for Bodak's work locker in the bookie joint where he moonlights.
Okay, 18 hours.
police, open the door. We busted down. Wait a minute. Let's smell burning glass, baby. You're going to jail. Open the door. Hey, whoa, guys, look. I just answered the phone. Answer the phone. Hello.
Yeah, the Knicks are getting 5.5. We get 4, you're getting 6 to 5. Look, guys, I swear, I just answered the phone. I'm sorry, I'm pissed.
Mike, what
16.
Mike,
This slab you restored shows the Crimson Order killing the Aloki and bragging about it. You're right, Matthew. There are some scratch marks on this slab. If they were left by the killer, we need to know. Come on, let's send it to Grace ASAP.
Plus
30 hours. Alright, I'll get the results tomorrow evening. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the bloody hair. I analyzed the bloodied hair you found on the Crimson Order dagger, Matthew. As you rightly guessed, the dagger is your murder weapon, as the blood belongs to your victim. But the hair you collected definitely doesn't come from your victims, as it is gray, which means it can only be your killer's. So the Crimson Order leader has gray hair? Thanks to this, we're one step closer to catching the killer. And the slab. I analyzed the slab you found in the gold mine, Matthew, and I've got good news. First of all, it was broken because it was used during a fight. I wanted to understand why, and so I dug a little deeper. After hours of searching, I finally managed to extract some DNA that matches with your victim. And as your victim didn't have any bruises, it's clear that he was the one using the slab as a weapon. Now about these scratch marks on the slab, they are fragments of gold, but they don't come from the mine, but from your killer. So you're telling us our killer is made of gold? Of course not, Jones, but your killer does wear gold jewelry. And according to the angle and position of the marks, this jewel was placed on the chest. I'd bet my bottom dollar that it was the gold brooch. The killer with the golden brooch. It sounds like a spy novel, in which you're the hero, Matthew. Ah, we're getting close to the end, I can feel it. Thanks to your amazing skills, Matthew, we now have everything we need to arrest the Crimson Order's leader. Just think, after centuries of violence, the Crimson Order is finally coming to an end. All thanks to you. So are you ready to go catch the killer and end this rule of terror on Grimsborough, Matthew?
They know what you told them is the truth.
The school admitted that?
They told us their side of the story. Tried to rationalize their actions. Put you through would drive anyone over the edge. Crazy. No, you're not crazy. I want to help you. Travis held accountable for what he's done. We need your help.
It's not Anaki.
Travis goes off to Oxford.
It's not Roman Harris. It is not Serena Johnson. It is not Kathy King. It is Milton Grims, the prison warden.
Christmas break. Friday night. Get ready to try this.
Huh, Milton's not here. Do you think he guessed we discovered his true identity and escaped? Now, why would I escape? This is my city, and it all ends here for you, Ranger Matthew. The game's up, Milton. We know you're Delson's killer, as well as the leader of the Crimson Order. I've got to admit, our little game of cat and mouse has been a lot of fun, and scalping that Aloki, it was glorious, and his blood, delicious. Ah, the look on Delson's face. I imagine Anaya looked much the same when Solomon scalped her pretty little head. The Aloki Indians saved the pilgrims' lives, and in return your ancestor went and killed them all. How could he do such a thing? Quite easily. Solomon discovered that the Aloki Indians had an abundance of gold, enough gold to make all of them rich, or one of them a king. And so Solomon devised a plan to gather all the Aloki Indians under one roof in order to kill them all, and so he seduced Anaya. Wait a second. Solomon married Anaya just so he could invite them to the pilgrim feast and kill the Aloki Indians more easily? A genius move, wasn't it? And there, in that beloved gold mine, the Crimson Order was born. I just can't believe it. All these centuries of murder just because of some gold. Gold has given the Crimson Order unlimited power. As its leader, I get to choose who lives and who dies in this town. I am Grimsborough's god. And right now the time has come for me to kill you, Ranger Matthew. Whoa. What the? Matthew, thank God you're alright. What happened? Rule number 1, never go anywhere without your trusted frying pan. Oh, Ramirez. So dizzy. That's what happens to people who try to hurt Ranger Matthew. Ramirez, that was just brilliant. Now, Milton, where were we? Oh yes, this is the part where Ranger Matthew arrests you. What? No, it doesn't end like this. I was supposed to bring your head to tonight's great ceremony in our headquarters. Don't worry, Ranger Matthew will be at the ceremony. After all, we still got your minions to arrest. That's a great idea, Matthew. Let's dress up as Crimson Order members before heading to their ceremony. Are you ready to become the leader of the Crimson Order for just one night, Matthew? Come on, let's go to the Crimson Order's headquarters.
They showed up. I started screaming at me. They put me in a straitjacket in front of everyone.
Ah, great leader, you're here. I gather it means that Grimsborough is now ours for good. Our beloved leader, have you brought us Matthew's head on a platter? I want them to pay for what they did to Mother. I think we've heard enough. Grimsborough PD, freeze! Leader? Is this some kind of joke? It's not a joke, but it's still pretty funny. You're under arrest. I'm glad you're alive, Ranger Matthew. Let's try and talk about this. Save it for the judge, slimeball. And what about you, Alden? I bet you're just an innocent bystander as always. Exactly. I'm just their puppet, Ranger Matthew. They made me kill Rachel Priest and... Forget it, Alden. You're going to prison. For good this time. Milton Grims, for generations your family have been the leaders of the Crimson Order and mass murderers. We did all it for the greater good of the city. You should worship us, not lock us away. Serena Johnson, you manipulated Samuel King into killing Adam Bentley. This does not make him innocent, but it does incriminate you. History will remember me as the greatest matriarch this city has ever known. Alden Green, you murdered Rachel Priest with the Crimson Order and laundered all their gold. This time there's no escaping justice. We could have made you all rich. Howard Johnson, as mayor, you were meant to protect the city. Instead, you abused of your power to try and destroy it. Now, since you're such a spineless man, I'm guessing you were just following your mother's orders. Oh, what's the point? Milton Grimm, Serena Johnson, Howard Johnson, and Alden Green, I sentence you all to life imprisonment in solitary confinement, and even that is too light a sentence in my opinion. How dare you do this to us? We built this city by murdering innocent people. You're referring to those stupid Aloki Indians? Pah! Who cares about them? Enough. Milton Grims, you built this city on violence. Ever since we have seen it echo through the centuries as blood spills more blood. However, I can find solace in the knowledge that the city's dark days are over, and as we turn over a new leaf, I'm confident a bright future awaits us. As for the Crimson Order, let it be a reminder that there is no glory to be had in murder. Only the weak kill because they're not brave enough to live earnestly. Wow, it's been a crazy ride, Matthew, but I'm glad you finally put an end to the Crimson Order. Come on, let's meet up with the team at the station and tell them the good news. Look at the other ones. Anaki cleared from the start. Roman Harris, no vitamin C tablets. Serena Johnson, no brooch. Kathy King, purple hair. It was Milton Grims. So for that, I will see you guys for the additional investigation. Alright folks, we're back. Let's go to the additional investigation.
Thank you, detectives. I'd also like to remind all female students.
A few days later.
Campus security.
Matthew, I still can't believe everything that happened. I knew you'd be able to stop the order, but I didn't expect them to be so deeply integrated in Grimsborough society. And to think it took King's death for us to notice they even existed. Now the Crimson Order is crumbling, and Grimsborough has lost its foundations. It'll take time for everything to settle down. But, thanks to your genius, Matthew, we could finally stop them. You're the biggest hero this city's ever known, and I feel like they owe me again. And after all this, you still think of others. You're right, the Aloki were the first people to live on these lands, but they suffered a lot. And all because of the Crimson Order, and all because of the Crimson Order. Let's pay a visit to Anaki. She may need a hand after Delson's death.
Yet, she's not ready to
Detective Benson.
Hello again, Anaki. We wanted to...
It happened 3 years ago.
Ranger Matthew, I knew you were about to visit. This is a fortunate arrival. I need your help with a very delicate matter. Thanks to you, the evil is gone. But my people went through a lot. Many of us died at the hands of our foes. Our lands were stolen from us, claimed and exploited by murderers. It's time for the Aloki to reclaim their lands, including the mines. Would you help me? I want to prove to everyone that the lands the Crimson Order controlled belong to the Aloki. Of course, Matthew, you're right. We might find something that'll prove the Aloki lived there long before the Crimson Order and the gold mine. It is very kind of you to help, Ranger Matthew. I'll be in the forest if you need me.
Most of these rapists are sociopaths. Some of these guys that go along with it one time and then they realize they made a mistake.
They're guilty conscience.
This guy in the legal system. Whoop this guy. Wait, 3 years ago?
Here we go.
Allison said I raped her? I mean, we just planned the travel together. She can't say that now.
The statute of limitations are your pre-law. And then you should know every law school checks if you've even been accused of a felony.
You can't do that.
Oh, yes, we can. We don't have to. Is this your idea or the front? She said it was a gang rape.
I know this wasn't a rape. I asked the head of campus security.
You reported yourself to campus security.
Aha, paintings.
Confused by that.
You mean you knew you crossed the line?
You won't come through.
It doesn't matter, Joe. She said she didn't want it.
Maybe she's saying that now. But after it happened, I texted her and asked her if she was.
So you are something? I'm not sure if you raped her. So afterwards, you asked her out.
I mean, Bart told me to. As a test. She texted back right away. Joe, I can't wait. I showed Bart and he said there's no...
Well spotted, Matthew. Those paintings on the rock look old. Think you can confirm it's the Aloki's art style? We have some traditional artworks at the station you can compare those to.
They're criminals. They're not your brothers. I'm sorry that girl had a bad night. But Travis, why would a guy like that be rape somebody?
Yeah, I told Joe it wasn't right. I said I made a complaint. Texted her the next day.
After you told him to text her,
I didn't tell her to text about it. If she been raped, she would come to me, file charges, but those are
Oops.
Her clothes and she was hysterical. Okay, you're taking a shower.
She tore all the clothes off. Listen, you should see this place outside.
There we are. Aloki paintings.
I should turn in there.
Nice work identifying the painting you found in the mine, Matthew. Those stones are definitely painted by the Aloki.
Make sure that
You're right, we still need to date these paintings if we want to prove the Aloki lived here before the Pilgrims. Let's collect a paint sample.
Campus security coached this Joe on how to derail a rape
Yeah,
accusation?
because they're keeping rape stats down. It's just like cooking the books for Comstat.
Blaming victims, shaming them. It's university policy.
It's all about control. I mean, they do their own investigation.
Aloki paintings.
School decides that no crime has been committed. It's dry. No press, no police.
We need to go after this one.
charge him with what?
That's a great part about it. Deanna decided on that. Community grand jury. Couldn't take it up.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Testify.
That was quick. Well done, Matthew. It was not an easy task to collect paint particles without damaging the Aloki painting, but you did it. Good idea. We should send the sample to Grace so she can determine if this painting has been done before any pilgrim sets foot in that mine.
Sweetheart. That's not going to work.
Okay, 18 hours.
Talk to someone, a therapist. Why? I'm all better now.
Okay, I think I'll let this thing run its course. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's finish out Grimsborough Case 56. There will be blood. Paint sample now. I'm sorry, Matthew. Dating the paint particles from the Aloki painting was a bit long, but carbon dating never lies. The sample you collected from that Aloki painting you found in the mine dates back to 1480, decades before any pilgrims stepped on those lands. So it means the Aloki settled there first. It's a suitable proof. Those lands historically belonged to them. Come on, Matthew, let's go tell Anaki we found proof that those lands and their goods belong to her people. Loki can get the land back. Anaki, we found an old painting in the gold mine. Ranger Matthew was able to prove it's an Aloki painting made before the pilgrims set foot in the area. It means your people can finally claim their lands. All you have to do is submit a request to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and no Crimson Order to compromise your plans this time. Thank you, Ranger Matthew. The Aloki now have their place in Grimsborough, and be sure the gold will be used wisely. The city will need funds to repair the Crimson Order's damages. The Aloki won't forget your help, and I can finally join the great ancestors again, now that our descendants are safe. Accept these gifts, Ranger Matthew, as a show of gratitude from the whole tribe. And now my time here is over. I can finally rest. Anaki? What just happened? She just vanished. Matthew, she must be somewhere around here. Let's check the area to see where she could have gone.
Yes.
Pick up the tab for 800.
Things are hot in this state in southeast Mexico. Yes.
Pick up the tab for 400.
It wasn't forbidden to introduce the Tongan word into English. Katrina.
What is taboo?
That's the word.
2000 tab.
Crushed wheat is the key to this Middle Eastern salad. Danielle.
What is taboo?
Okay. Saucepan. Cloud face. Ah! Platter. Jerry can. Soccer ball.
I say 800, please.
Don Henley said of this Eagles
Wrecking ball.
Katrina.
Who's going to fry? 1200, I say.
She's been named Academy of Country Music Female Vocalist of the Year 6 times in a row. Noreen.
Who's Trisha Yearwood?
No. Danielle.
What do they know is Carrie Underwood?
No. Katrina's not. Back to you, Katrina.
1600, I say.
This British band found Somebody to Love as a new singer.
Matthew, we don't have time to look at the clouds. We're looking for Anaki. Ah, Ranger Matthew, you have very good instincts. I am glad you were the one who set us free from the evil's curse. What? Who's there? What's going on? Do not fear, Jones. I am the soul you call Anaki, but I have been called many names through time. I bear the voices of the Aloki tribe, the voices of those who fell here at the Crimson Order's hands. Their souls are able to rest now, and mine shall too. After so long I had nearly given up hope, but you stopped the madness tainting this city. Thank you, Ranger Matthew. Okay, I think we should go back to the station. I need a few minutes to think about what just happened.
Walking on carpet and touching metal won't kill you. Danielle?
What is static?
That's the kind.
Matthew, I might have been taking too many draws on that shaman's peace pipe. For a second, I really thought we were having a discussion with a cloud. Anyway, the Aloki will get back their lands. Grimsborough is off to a new start, free of the Crimson Order, and it's all thanks to you. And you know, you've got everything it takes to become an exceptional police chief. So what do you say, Matthew? Do you want to become our new chief? No? But why not? Because you're joining the police force of Pacific Bay? That's true. I heard they were looking for exceptionally talented rangers to join their rank. Ooh, we're going to Pacific Bay? Such a fine city. They've got mountains and so many beautiful beaches. We'll have a blast. Well, actually, Ramirez, I think Matthew was going alone. Oh, I see. Well, maybe we can catch up next time I go to Pacific Bay then, Ranger Matthew. Sorry, I need a moment. Don't worry, Matthew, I can't deny that I'm sad, but I'm really proud of you. And if I was selfish, I would beg you to stay here, but I understand that other cities need your help. Just one last thing, Matthew. Don't forget your sun cream. Well, Matthew, it looks like you're all set to leave for Pacific Bay. The police force there is lucky to have you, and... Matthew, sorry to interrupt, but I need your help, please. Ah, it looks like your help is still needed here. Are you up for one last job, Matthew? Sure. Moment, folks. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's go on.
For a second, I thought it was the cannibal murderer.
Ask Kathy what's wrong. Matthew, I found something weird in my purse after getting out of custody. Someone must have slipped it inside. Hold on, Kathy. What is it exactly? I don't know, but after everything that happened, I'm scared to find out what it could be. Please, can you find it and have a look, Matthew? Okay, Kathy, you've got a point. Matthew, can you check out her purse and make sure everything's safe?
Alex word for an output signal returning as input. Today it means criticism or evaluation. You have 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Aha. Okay, 17 energy. Good job, Matthew. This must be what slipped into Kathy's purse, and it's... Ugh, seriously. Why the heck does every document you find have to be torn? It's like a curse. Huh? Sorry, Matthew. Let's put the pieces back together so we know what it is and can reassure Kathy about it. Okay.
Cop cams, a heated issue comes into the spotlight today. Should body cams be part of police equipment? What supporters and opponents are saying in Honolulu tonight. Plus, spelling our state, a Hawaii board takes up an issue that
It's a card from everybody.
dives in.
Surprise! Did you like our little joke, Matthew? Sorry, but we thought a mysterious torn card would be a fun reminder of our time together.
10 years after their son
After all, you didn't think we'd let you leave without a farewell party, did you?
to the island.
There's drinks and plenty of cake, so enjoy yourself, Matthew. And once you've had some cake, come back to see me. There's something I need to tell you.
With Paul Alcala, Yunji Denise, and weather with Paul Drews. KITV Island News at 5 starts now.
10 years with no
See what Kathy has to tell me? Ah, Matthew, did you like the card the team made for you? It was my idea. You've done so much for my family. I know it's not much, but I had to thank you somehow. But there's more. We're all going to miss you a lot, and the team wanted you to have something to remember them by, so... Surprise! Here is a gift from the entire Grimsborough PD team. I know you'll miss us as much as we'll miss you, Matthew.
Heartbroken, Michael and Alicia now.
Aren't those t-shirts great, Matthew? That way you'll be able to keep us with you, even in the new city. I still remember your first day on the job as if it was yesterday, Matthew. I used to be a bit of a jerk back then, didn't I? Matthew sure has a good influence on you, although possibly not on your eating habits. What do you mean? I wanted to thank you, Matthew, for making me realize this job wasn't just about dead bodies, but about living people, too. It's about that snake girl you met during that opera murder, isn't it? I'm sure I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Alex. Hey, don't be ashamed, Nathan. If it wasn't for you, Matthew, I'd never have met Kathy. I'll never thank you enough. As for me, I'll never forget the day you brought little Newton to my lab. He's the best dog I've ever had, and I owe it all to you. And do you remember that time when Margaret tried to kill me with that cupcake? I was really lucky you had my back, Matthew. And that was also the first time I got to be your right hand. That was such a great day. Despite Jones getting so sick. Oh, Matthew, I'm going to miss you so much. You were an inspiration. Your dedication and your intelligence and... Now, don't cry, Ramirez. It's time for Matthew to move on. See other places. Meet other people. I know, but I'm still sad. So anyway, I guess this is goodbye, Matthew. I'm sure you'll have a blast in Pacific Bay, and they're lucky to get you. Just don't forget your pals from Grimsborough, alright? We sure won't forget you, Matthew.
IRS officials say that 2 people, one 16 years old, the other 21, were taken to the hospital in serious and stable condition. No arrests have yet been made. Gun, badge, camera, the debate over police body cams on the front burner today.
Will this be the last case I'll do in Grimsborough in Elite Mode? Certainly not. That will do for this, and I'll see you guys for the next one.